this shit? This episode of Triple CHS is brought to you by DraftKings.com. What's up, motherfuckers? It's me again with another episode of Hitter Reviews, the show where I review movies for hitters. It's been 320 days since my last review, so I figured, it's about time. And seeing as this week marks the 30th anniversary of the Academy Award-winning Bloodsport, I figured I'd fucking, come back and do a review. So let's fucking talk about this fucking shit. Bloodsport 1988. Whoa! Alright, so the movie starts with all these motherfucking hitters all around the world getting ready for this big tournament called the COMEDIC, where it's full pride rules and basically they don't give a fuck. So they show all these motherfuckers getting ready, which apparently means just breaking shit and looking fucking crazy while you do it. Then they show this guy fucking killing the shit out of some blocks of ice. Like, he just fucking hates ice so bad. But the movie's not about those guys. It's about this fucking hitter called Frank Dukes and the ninja shit that he did at the COMEDIC. That's Frank there being played by American hero Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's also him being played by some fucking stupid kid who apparently likes the New York Giants as well as the San Francisco Giants. So apparently this kid just likes fucking giant-themed sport teams or some shit. Anyways, this motherfucker's out here doing gangster shit, trying to steal katanas and shit. And then he gets caught by this ninja master who's like, I can tell you're going to be a fucking hitter, and I'm going to teach you real ninja shit. And you're basically going to be like my son now, even though I already have a son. But he's going to die in a second, so fuck that dude. So yeah, they train ninja shit, and this was essentially my entire childhood for real. Just fucking ninja drills and shit all day. Like, I could beat up your fucking dad when I was in 5th grade. I would fuck your dad up, but he's a hitter and I respect him or whatever. Anyway, he makes it into the final test, which is apparently getting stretched by a tree. So now he's a full-blown fucking ninja, and he does what any ninja would do, which is join the army. So Frank's in the army now, and he's still practicing ninja shit. But the COMEDIC's coming up, and he wants to honor his master, who's old and sick and shit, by winning it. Unfortunately, he fucked up, and he's in the army, so he says, hold up, I need to take a shower. And then he goes AWOL naked. After finding some clothes and talking to his ninja dad, he heads to Hong Kong for the COMEDIC. That's where he runs into Big Country Roy Nelson, who's also there for the tournament. And they play video games and become best friends. Meanwhile, the army's looking for Frank, so they send this old guy and a young Forrest Whitaker, who still looks like he's 40 somehow, to track him down and bring him back. Frank runs into this guy Victor at the hotel, who's like, hey, I work for the COMEDIC and this shit's illegal as fuck, but I'll make sure you guys get inside. Okay, USA. So they get there and they show their invitations, and this dude's like, I know you're Ninja Master, and I don't think you're a fucking hitter, so dim mock this brick at the bottom of this stack and we'll let you in. And Frank's like, motherfucker, dim mock these nuts in your mouth, Super Ninja Brick Smash, motherfucker, what? Now let me in. And Roy Nelson's super stoked about it. Then this motherfucker who's on steroids, I know it, everybody knows it. He's the dude we saw breaking ice earlier, his name's Chung Lee. He's like, brick not hit back, your dim mock's wolf tickets, homie. And Forrest Whitaker's still looking for Frank. But back at the hotel, this guy is sexually harassing a reporter named Janice, who wants to do a story about the COMEDIC. Frank stops this fucking guy from hitting her, and the dude's like, she's coming with me. And Frank's like, I bet if you hold this fucking coin and I can snatch that shit from you, she's gonna come with me. And Janice's like, the fuck you think I am, homie? Some fucking shit you take home from the store? But Frank winks at her, so she knows he's a great guy, even though they only met 2 seconds ago. So this guy's like, okay, go for it, motherfucker. I'm fast as shit. Then Frank uses his ninja powers to not only take the coin, but replace it with a Chuck E. Cheese token. And this dude acts like he saw some fucking Chris Angel mind freak shit. So now Frank's like, I'll tell you about the COMEDIC, but you gotta date me. And she's like, sure, sounds good. You're Jean-Claude Van Damme, fuck it. Smash cut to Frank doing the splits in his room 5 minutes before the COMEDIC bus leaves, because ninjas never stop ninja shitting. And they finally get to the fucking tournament, and this shit kicks off with this dude in a gi getting KO'd out of the fucking ring. Then it's time for Roy Nelson to fight a 17-year-old 155er, and he beats him via standing hammer fist or some shit. Then he points Chung Lee like a fucking psycho, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, man. Chung Lee's like, the fuck you think this is, homie? He's fucking standing hammer fisted a motherfucker. I'm the COMEDIC champion, watch this shit. So he goes up next, and he breaks this motherfucker's neck in world record time. Then it's time for Frank Dukes. It's that motherfucker he gave the Chuck E. Cheese coin to that he's gotta fight. And Frank fucks his shit up and knocks his gold tooth out, which breaks the world record Chung Lee just set for fastest win. And Roy Nelson's fucking jacked about it. Then this janitor dude steals dude's gold tooth. Then we get a montage of the tournament to the greatest song ever written called Fight to Survive. And everybody's fucking shit up. Roy Nelson's fucking shit up. Random dudes are fucking shit up. Chung Lee's fucking shit up. Frank's fucking shit up. This tournament's fucking crazy as shit. So of course we follow that up with Forrest Whitaker eating some food and not looking for Frank Dukes. But it works actually because some guy tells him that Frank's at the hotel. Luckily, Big Country's now best friends with Frank and tackles the shit out of them so Frank can escape. What follows is an episode of Looney Tunes with Frank being chased by Forrest Whitaker and the old guy. They could probably have just waited at the hotel since they knew that Frank was staying there, but what the fuck ever. Now Frank's eating dinner with that reporter, and she wants into the kumite, and Frank's like, nah, fuck that. Then she says she really wants to get to know him, and they fuck. Then to be a dick, the next morning Frank's like, you're still not getting into the kumite. But guess what? She's at the tournament undercover as some rich guy's date, so who fucking cares about this subplot? It's time for day 2 of the kumite, and Muay Thai guy fucks this dude up as he stands there doing nothing to defend himself. Frank jumping kicks his dude in the stomach, and apparently that ends the fight. Chung-Li Chris Weidman's his opponent and breaks the fuck out of his leg. Meanwhile, the reporter's doing a great job of being undercover, pulling out a fucking 30-pound recorder and making some notes mid-tournament. Frank's up again with more jumping shit, and he's got another win. Chun-Li goes with a pride-friendly blow to the back of the head for his next one. Then we get a random fight nobody gives a shit about. And then Frank's up again, and this dude starts the fight by talking shit. So Frank beats him in roughly 3 seconds. Then we get this huge motherfucker against this tiny motherfucker who's hopping around all over the place, wasting his energy. And the big guy gets him in a fucking bear hug and breaks his back, apparently. Because that's how that shit works. Then Chun-Li's back up and he's fighting Billy Nobody Gives a Fuck. And he hits him with the flying knee KO. Now Frank's got to fight that huge motherfucker from 10 seconds ago. And he gets caught in the bear hug but goes full Valley Tudo and headbutts him. Then hits him in the stomach with a Hadoken. Then hits him with the Johnny Cage nut punch, which kills him. He's dead now. This motherfucker's dead. He just like explodes. So after that we finally get a fight we give a shit about. Roy Nelson and Chung-Li are next. And Frank tells Roy to go for Lee's stomach. Stay away from his right leg. And Big Country doesn't listen to any of that and just throws some spinning shit. Then knocks over Chun-Li with a double hammer fist. Starts running around like a fucking dumbass thinking he won the fight. And Chun-Li gets up and kicks the shit out of him. Then face stomps him, pride rules. Then Chun-Li steals Big Country's bandana and taunts Frank with it like a fucking gangster. And Big Country ends up in the hospital with a head wound apparently so large that there's still blood seeping through what appears to be fresh gauze. Frank vows to get revenge because that's his best friend that he met 2 days ago. But Janice doesn't like that because they also met 2 days ago and she doesn't want to see him get hurt, which pisses Frank the fuck off. Until Victor's like, the fuck you doing, homie? You all met like 2 fucking days ago. Go do a thinking montage and get ready for the last day of the tournament. Meanwhile, Janice goes full fucking snitch to the Hong Kong police and lets them know where Frank's at for Forrest Whitaker. Frank hops on a bus to thinking shit about all the stuff he cares about. But he must have smoked something before he got on because he thinks he sees Chun-Li on the bus, but he's just tripping balls, there's nothing there. So then he climbs to the top of Hong Kong to do some fucking splits on a rooftop like he's fucking Batman. And now he's apparently got his shit together and he's ready to win the kumite. But since Janice is a fucking snitch, Forrest Whitaker's waiting for him at the entrance with the Hong Kong police. But then Frank somehow gets everybody's tasers. So they just give up and say it's cool, we'll just come watch the tournament, we're not getting paid enough for this shit anyway. Apparently Janice is cool with everything now too because she's a fucking mark. In the semifinal, we get Frank taking on Muay Thai guy. And they trade body kicks like a couple of fucking nut jobs. Until Frank decides to spinning shit his face. And now he's going into the finals with probably a bunch of broken ribs because he fucking stood there like a dumbass and took a bunch of fucking kicks. Chung-Li's semifinal is next and he literally fucking kills this guy. So everybody apparently turns their back on him. I guess that's what you do in fucking kumite when you kill somebody. But he doesn't give a fuck because he's a fucking gangster. And he tells Frank, you're next. In one of the worst dubbed voices I've ever seen in a movie. So we're at the final fight and surprise, it's Chung-Li versus Frank Dukes. They collapsed the ring for some fucking reason for this fight because this movie is just fucking ridiculous. Chung-Li's coach slips him a Tide Pod into his shorts in case shit starts going bad. And Lee's rocking Big Country's bandana on his knee because he doesn't give a fuck. Fight starts with Frank jumping off the fucking ref and kicking Chung-Li. Bet you didn't see that shit coming, did you? And then they go back and forth for a while. And then Frank starts kicking the shit out of Chung-Li. So he pulls that Tide Pod out and explodes it in Frank's fucking face. Apparently the ref didn't see that shit at all. So now Frank is so blind he's missing punches this fucking bad. And Chung-Li's just beating the fuck out of him. So then Frank kneels down in the middle of the ring and Chung-Li apparently gives him 20 minutes to remember that he's a fucking ninja killer and he doesn't need to see to beat the fuck out of people. So he becomes the one from the Matrix and then starts spamming spinning head kicks like he's a fucking prime TRT Vitor until he makes Chun-Li yell Mate. And that means Frank wins the kumite. And he did it for Big Country Roy Nelson. For winning, Frank's given a fucking sword. That's it. They don't even fucking pay this motherfucker. He fought like 13 times in 3 days. And he gets a fucking katana. Which he could have just fucking stole from his old ass motherfucking ninja dad. Big Country's out of his coma now. But he still has a massive head wound that is apparently still bleeding. Him and Frank vow to be best friends forever. Then Frank meets up with Forrest Whitaker because that whole AWOL thing will probably just be completely okay now because, you know, he won the kumite, so fuck it. Janice throws up some gang signs. And then we're told this insane shit's supposed to be a true story, which it actually is because all that shit happened to me in real life when I was like fucking 12, homie. But yeah, that's the fucking, that's the movie. So anyway, guys, that was Bloodsport. It's pretty much the best thing to ever happen to America. I give it a full 10 bongs out of 10. If you haven't seen it, then you're probably the biggest piece of shit in the world, and I don't fuck with you. So you need to watch that shit. Just get your fucking homies and smoke a bowl and watch Jean-Claude Van Damme give the greatest performance since fucking Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. But, alright, so that was another episode of Hitter Reviews. And, see you motherfuckers next year, probably. Fight fans, is there anything better than a Saturday night with your significant other watching people beat the living shit out of each other inside a caged arena while you snuggle on the couch in the comfort of your modern life? Well, now there's apparel that fits that mood perfectly, Fight fans. Get your MMA and Chill hoodie or t-shirt at Rear Naked Cloaks right now. Along with a ton of other awesome merch. We've got all kinds of designs. The link is in the description. Go now. See you tomorrow, Fight fans!